So first thing we're going to do is we're going to pull the side panels off. We're going to pull the hood off so we can get to everything. So we got quarter turn. Easy peasy. Same thing with the other side. Quarter turn. Pops right off. Now with this, you got a quarter turn D-ring. Done. Quarter turn D-ring. Done. Then you just gotta push this in. If I can do it with one hand. Just unplug that, the whole hood will slide right off. There we go. There we go. Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is Riley. Okay, so now that we got the hood off, we got to take the windshield off so we can get to the back side of the gauge pod. So we'll need a T30. So if you have the stock windshield, you're not going to have this one back here. I have the bigger windshield, so it has a push dart in the back. So I'm going to have to take this off. So if you have this windshield, you'll have to pop this out. So this is what holds, this push dart is what holds the back side of the windshield on for the flare. But other than that, your stock windshield is just going to have your T30. Then you got to do both of these. So. Hello. Hello. I know it's great out here, isn't it? Being on camera. Alright, so now we got those out. We just have the last two here, and the windshield will come off. Alright, we'll get this one. What are you complaining about? Huh? Riley, what are you complaining about? Huh? What are you complaining about? So now, this is the piece that we're going to have to put on. It comes with a kit. So this is everything that comes with a kit. It comes with the bracket that mounts right on the back like this. So that'll mount there. And then it comes with, this is the Garmin Tread GPS base kit. I didn't get the one with the microphone and the premium one with the antenna and everything. So I just got the base kit because all I wanted was a GPS. And then it comes with all this wiring. And we'll go through all that. Okay, now that we got the windshield off, you're going to want to remove this goggle bag. And how you do that is you just reach up under there and you actually turn this, and there's like a little thing that sits in. So the male is here and this is the female, so you just kind of turn that out, and then you do the same thing with this one, and then this whole goggle bag comes right out. Set that aside, and then you can see up inside, and we'll flip this over. Okay, so down in there, we got to unplug. We have to unplug the gauge. We got to unplug those two connectors to the 12-volt accessory, and mostly got to unplug the gauge because you've got to drill through the center, and you don't want to hit this wire. We'll unplug these two wires, and you'll notice they're two different sizes. there's a 3/16 and a 1/4 inch blade male connector that goes in these. So what comes with the kit, and according to the instructions, they want you to cut off those connectors and then splice it in with these two, which I didn't agree with. And you guys can do it whatever way you want, but I'm going to strip these off, and I ended up getting 3/16 and 1/4 inch connectors to crimp onto these, and then I'm going to take these two, plug them in together, and now you'll have your power. All this is like a T. So you're going to get your power coming in for your Garmin, and then you're going to take and plug these two back into here, so you'll have your power back to your 12 volt. And it's the instructions say to not hook this up. Just so I'm just going to wrap this around, tie it off. And but I am going to put the connectors on these two. And like I said, you can't mix them up because they are different sizes. So, and red is your small one, which is your power, and then your ground. So we'll hook all these up. I will cinch these, and then we'll put some shrink tubing around them, seal it up, and then they can't come apart when they're in there, or keeps them from the moisture. So we'll do that, and I gotta unplug the gauge as well and get all the cords out of the way, all the wiring, because we're gonna have to drill through the top of that. So we'll set these over here, and then we'll reach in here somehow, unplug this. Alright, just gotta, there's a little tab you gotta push down on to, see, you just push down on that and pull it out. So here's what came with the kit. I bought these. I'll put all the stuff that I'm using in the description down below, as far as I got these off Amazon. I always use connectors, so I ended up buying the whole kit. So we have that, we got that, and then I got the Wi-Fi heat shrink tubing. I did Rich Outdoors when he was here last week for the Big East show. He came down for 4 days, and I did a bunch of work on his sleds, installed a bunch of stuff. So we'll put these together, and we'll slip them over, heat shrink them, and we'll be good to go there. I'll cut these off. Okay, so pull these off. So then all you do is just match these up. See, this will plug in the other one. So that's the smaller one, so that'll be your red wire. So we'll put that in there. Crimp it. Like that. Check that. Do the same thing with this one. Alright, so I'll push it so the wire just comes through the front, so I know it's all the way through. Crimp that. There, so that's ready to go. And then with this, we don't need this. The directions say to not hook this up, so we will not hook this up. Alright, so now we got this one, this goes to your GPS. These ones will plug into the power that we unhooked from the thing, and this will supply our power to our 12 volt auxiliary plug. There's that one. And then the smaller 3/16 plug goes in this one like that. after you remember to put this on. Yeah, I tell you. There, and then we'll just heat these up. Get this out of the way for now. Kind of keep it in the middle. Pull this out as far as you can. Get your shrink tape in the middle. Try not to heat the gauge up. Okay. This had these specific ones have glue in them, so they're all glued up and sealed. So a little bit warm. There. So now they won't be able to unplug. So that's all done. We got those all sealed up. Now we'll leave this out. We'll kind of hook it on something or whatever, just to kind of keep this out. When we drill that, we're going to have to drill down through the center. So we'll flip this back over. Then we got to measure. Okay, so now we're going to measure 2 1/4, center it up, and then we're going to drill a hole 1/2 inch. So we'll measure from the gauge down and then just kind of center it. Three, so 1 1/2. So we'll just kind of get as close. Doesn't have to be exact unless you're, you know, but that looks good. And I'm going to start with a small drill bit just as a pilot hole, and then I'm going to use a step drill because it's cleaner. Drill's a perfectly nice hole. Okay, now that I got my pilot hole drilled, 2 1/4, center it up, reach in there, make sure the wires haven't come up, and now I have a step drill bit, and I'm going to go to 1/2 inch. And I use a step drill because it drills a nice clean hole. So we got one more, I believe. There. Just got to make sure that this piece will fit through this hole. This is the one that mounts on the back side of the mount that holds the GPS, and that slides onto here. So you got to make sure that this comes up through the hole. So if you can't get this through the hole, you got to make it a little bit bigger. And of course that's not going through there, so I'm going to make it a little bit more. Alright, so let's see now. Oh yeah, we're perfect. There, you can see, how nice of a hole that makes. Nice and smooth. Okay, so this hole is for if you were going to use the premium GPS, which comes with an antenna for when it comes with a walkie-talkie. You know, you can talk to other riders. I'm thinking it's I didn't get that version, so I just went with the base kit. So this comes with a plug, comes in the kit. So we'll just throw that plug in there. There, that's all plugged off. So now always, when you set this on here, like that, all right, oh, it's dusty. So when you set this on here like that, you're going to want to make sure it's centered and it's right up there nice. This has a 3M, so when you go to put this on, it's gonna stick. So you're gonna want to make sure that this is all the way forward, like that. When you go to drill, you're gonna reach in there to make sure you're not gonna drill into the wiring, and you're gonna drill a pilot hole, which is first hole you're gonna drill is 1/8 inch. So this is an 1/8 inch hole. So we'll drill that. We'll use this piece as the pilot. So when you put this on here, make sure it's pushed all the way up. Put just some slight pressure on it, and then we'll drill into that. We'll mark it. And then once you get these two drilled, we got to go up to a 3/8 because we got to put a rubber expander in here. So we'll do the 1/8 inch first, and then we'll go to 3/8. All right, so like I said, make sure that all the wires are out of the way down there. And push it all the way up. Let me see if I can get my light. You can see that. So you're going to want to make sure that that's pushed all the way up. That marked it, and then we'll do the same thing over here. So now you have your little dimples, so you can continue drilling. Make sure your wiring stays down. And do the same thing over here. Make sure there's no wiring in here. Boy, right. Alright, so there's them. And that's just your starter hole. And then we got to go to 3/8. We go to a 3/8. And that is for these things. They're like a rubber grommet expander. Almost like a riv nut, but they're rubber. And you're just drilling a hole large enough to put these in, so when you draw up the screw to put that on, they'll expand. So you're just drilling them large enough for them. So we'll get these two holes drilled out. Oop, there goes some flashlight hitting the ground. Same thing over here. There, and we'll put these in. Man, that freaking flashlight is something else today. It just wants to stay on the floor. There, so there's those two. And when we put those screws in, it'll draw them up. So I'm going to just clean this with some glass cleaner. Just for where the sticker's going to be. There's that. Okay, so we got this come with the kit. These came with the kit. All this comes with the kit. It's got various screws in here. So this goes in here like this. I don't see the purpose of it because it doesn't go tight down against the cowl. But I put it in there more or less just to hold the wiring. So that, we'll put that in last. So we got to mount this. And in here is some, this is rubber in here, inside these. So they got these steel inserts that go in. Alright, so we got to put these steel inserts. This is all pretty simple, really. Straightforward. When you watch the video, it's going to be a lot easier than trying to go by those directions. I did Rich Outdoors' sled when he was down here. So this is my second one, so I already know I don't have to use the crazy directions that came with it. Like I said, it had you taking the gauge out and just unnecessary stuff like cutting the wires when all you can do is just, if they would have just gave you the two little connectors, the male connectors, you would have been done with it. You know, you just crimp them on and you'd be done. Now they got you cutting the wires and you know, they don't even give you the connectors. So they want you to put connectors for the wiring. And if you're gonna buy connectors, you might as well just buy the ones that plug right in and be done with it. Okay, so we got all four of those steel spacers down in there. Bushings, should I say. So then we got them. Okay, so before you put this through here and tighten it up, don't forget to put it through the hole in this cowl. So once you get it through there, now you can mount this to this. Because if you mount this through here before you get it through there, you're not going to be able, you're either going to have to drill a hole big enough to put this through, or you're going to have to undo everything. So once you get this up through that hole, then you can flip this through here. Press that flat. Be careful not to do anything with those prongs, because that's what goes into the back of the, and then you got to put that little screw in that I lost. There it is. You just got once you get that setting flush, pushed in all the way, then you put that screw in. There, now that you got that mounted, now you can mount this to this. just snugging these up because it is plastic, so. There. Now that I got that, this will go in there like that. The directions show to put this like this. So that's what I'm going to do right now. That kind of holds the wiring up, but I really don't do anything else, so we will just rely on what they say. We'll go from there. Okay. Okay, that's what it shows in the directions. You put it just like that. And I'll pull this back through. That'd be like that. And then we gotta mount, then we gotta have our 2 screws. Okay, so now that we got this mounted, we have to get our 2 screws that are going to go in these 2 holes, and we got to remember that we got to take this off, flip it, take that 3M off, and then stick that. So we're going to take this off. We're going to take our 3M adhesive cover off. Maybe. Maybe not. There it goes. Alright. So now we got to press this down, but you want to make sure that's all the way forward. Right against that. And then set it down. There. Just like that. And now you just use your 2 holes. Just like that. We'll put these in. And that'll hold this on. And that'll utilize those rubber grommets that are in there. And it'll expand them and it'll cinch right up. And you don't have to over tighten these. There's one. And then we'll do the other one. You'll start to feel it tighten up. There, it's all done. So now we got that mounted, and then we'll just plug our wires in. Okay, so seeing how these screws stick out so much, I got these little rubber ends that go over these just to kind of clean it up. I bought these off Amazon in a kit. I'll put the link below if you're interested. If you have the stock dark, the black windshield, you won't have to put these on because you're not going to see it. I'm putting them on because I have the smoked windshield and you can see through the windshield and see these. So these are just make it a cleaner look. So got that plugged in. These are in. That adhesive's down. Everything looks good. So now we'll turn it around, flip it over, grab my wiring. Then we got to plug everything back in. So be careful when you're working on this because you got some screens in here for the snow dust. You don't want to puncture these. So just be careful. First thing I'll do is I'll plug the gauge back in. feel that. Hear a click. It's kind of offset a little bit. So that's plugged back in. So then we got these wires. This is the one that we soldered the ends on that were plugged into the 12-volt accessory. So we soldered them, and now it made a splitter. So now we'll plug these two back into the 12-volt accessory, and then this one will power the GPS. So we'll get these plugged in. They're two different sizes, 3/16 and 1/4, so you can't mix them up. And if you look down in there, the red one was on the bottom. And the black one, ground, was on the top, which is the wider prong, male in. Alright, so we got that. Those are plugged in, those are plugged in. And now we just got to plug in the end for the GPS, and then we'll just tuck all the wiring down in. And we'll plug this in and then just kind of coil everything up, and it comes with zip ties. So alright, so that's plugged in. We'll coil all the wire up and we'll zip tie it off to the side. Okay, so I got this all wadded up, or should I say coiled up. I'm going to snip this off, and then I'm just going to zip tie it to the side over here, out of the way, or zip tie it down in here or something. Trim that extra off. There, everything's all neat and tidy in there. So the other thing I'm going to point out is when you put this through here, when you go to mount this, make sure your rubber thing, it slides down the cord. Make sure that when you put this piece up through the hole, this is with it, because that's what's going to cover. That's what's going to cover when you take your GPS off, to cover for the snow. And then you just pop that off, and it'll stay right in the back here when you put your GPS on. Okay, so now that we got this all mounted up, screws are in, got your foam in here, your 3M adhesives off the back. Make sure this is sticking out. These are all tight. And now we got to put our goggle bag back in. And this little tab right here slides, and there's a notch in here where these tabs stick out that slides right in there. So you just got to get the tunnel bag. Yeah, tunnel bag. Got to get the goggle bag just put up in there like that. And that just sits in there like that. And that sits in there like that. And that's it. There. All done. Then we can mount our GPS. And this is how it comes. And it's got a little gap, or a little opening in the bottom. So you'll put the bottom in first, like that, and then you just rotate it to the back, just like that. Okay, so we'll put the hood on. You're going to slide it right along here. Watch your antifreeze cap. You're just going to slide it right along the top here. That'll drop right on. That'll slide just like that. Check to make sure coolant didn't loosen up. Plug in your thing. Put your D-rings in. Do the other side. I'm gonna put the windshield on after. I'm gonna start it up, see what we got here. Got the Garmin tread with the mounting kit all done. As soon as you power up the sled, it powers up the Garmin, and I got all the New York maps and the Maine maps already loaded in, so I'll be all set for this season. Thanks for tuning in. Riley, you got anything to say? Riley, how'd you get all dirty? Huh? I just gave you a bath. What are you out rolling in the mud? Huh? You out rolling in the mud? Hey, tell these guys, see you later. Subscribe if they haven't, right? Take it easy. Thanks.